Hopefully it comes up. Give it a few seconds. Right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the United Way for the Burnley versus Manchester United Premier League preview. Joining me once again to discuss tomorrow's game is Ryan from United Central. Ryan, how is things?
Hello, mate. Yeah, not so bad. Obviously, we've been better after maybe a positive result midweek, but yeah, going all right. This week's flown by, and we're at the weekend. Hopefully, it's a happier weekend for us. But yeah, as always, thank you for having me on. I love being on here and really enjoying it. So, really appreciate you asking me back.
Yeah, our connection for anyone watching is a bit low, so I do apologise. I'm trying to do as much as I can. So far, so good. But yeah, I mean, obviously we had the game on Wednesday, 4-3, 7-goal thriller. We had Onana mistakes, if you want to say. Botta Sane opened the scoring. Gnabry then decided to put the second. Highland got the goal after in the second half. I'm happy he got his first goal for Manchester United. You know, we thought we got it on Saturday, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. And then obviously they got a penalty, which I'm not sure about you, Ryan, but that wasn't a penalty in my opinion. I'm just going to throw it out there. Would you agree? Or
I absolutely agree. I mean, you only have to look at the. Do you remember the Tottenham game where we were denied a penalty when Romero? You know that was more of a penalty, but they didn't give that. But for me, Eriksen was literally too close. He had his where you meant to put your arms, your hands. You know what you meant to do. So for me, definite not penalty. And again, we never seem to get decisions, do we? So yeah.
No. Yeah, I was a bit upset about that, but it was just like, what's new? You know.
That was a key moment as well, though. Remember, it was a key moment. It was only one goal in it at that point, and then obviously the penalty. Then they advanced the lead to 2 again. It was a big moment in that match, and again, these moments in matches can actually, can really determine. Well, it did turn the outcome in the end, but it can actually, what I'm trying. It really does turn it in their favour, getting that penalty. So. And it could have been a different result on another night had that not have been given. There's all ifs, buts, and maybes. I know that, but I'm just saying it's just annoying that we get in decisions against us so much better. So.
Ryan, I just want. Can you go onto your phone and check the YouTube to see if the screen doesn't look that small? Because it looks small on my phone. So can you just check if you can?
Yeah,
please. Or to anyone else watching, let us know because. Maybe, hopefully, it's just me and not a problem for everyone else because that would just be annoying.
Oh, yeah. What did you? It looks fine to me on my screen. Yeah.
Let us see.
Pardon?
So it looks all right for you, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's go ahead. Yeah. So it's just on mine. It looks very small. Yeah, no, that's all right. Just thanks for checking. Yeah, and then what was it? Casemiro got the late goal with, I think it was 2 minutes to spare normal time. And then obviously Tell got the fourth, and then unfortunately Bruno, that was game over, Bruno took a free kick, Casemiro got to it, and then 4. I wasn't expecting 7-goal thriller though. You know what I mean? But let's be honest, when you get 3 goals away to Bayern, you expect to at least get a point.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the most frustrating part about this game is, again, there's a current theme going on at the moment. We're starting games well, but then we're having that lapse in concentration and we're just losing it. And I think that, once, obviously when they scored their first goal, which, like I said, was a very poor... it was really poor from Onana, obviously. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, really. It was a basic shot to save. There was not much pace on it either, right? It didn't look like. So I don't know what happened there. But as soon as we concede, our heads drop and we crumble. Because then 4 minutes later, we concede again. And for me, that's where we lost the game. You can't afford to be you can't afford to be going 2-0 down away from home at the Allianz with their form and it's just giving yourself a mountain to climb. I know obviously we pulled it back a few times, but then you're thinking to yourself, when we do pull it back, let's stay in the game. Let's keep it at 1 for a period and try and get an equaliser. But like I said, the penalty didn't help. It wasn't a penalty, like I said, we've mentioned it. It was on the penalty. I don't understand how VAR can give that, to be honest with you. Absolutely shocking. And like I said, we pull a goal back again. Just having a look here. We pull a goal back again, and then they score again, and then it was just chaos, really. And as you said earlier as well, and your connection's gone, so hopefully you've not lost us. But I will keep going for now. Like I said, the most frustrating part about this game is that we just weren't able, that 4 minutes that we had after, that 4 minutes of madness that I'm calling it, with Onana's mistake and then conceding another goal straight after. The defence, we're conceding three or more goals in the last 3 games. It's nowhere near good enough. And like you said, conceding 3, scoring 3 at the Allianz, you do expect to get something. But yeah, it's one of those. But obviously, lost connections, so we're going to keep going. I mean, I'm really happy for Højlund. Obviously, I've not mentioned that actually. Obviously, Højlund getting the goal, superb. He really has deserved it from what he's done in previous, from when we've seen him. And I think that goal will really help him now to settle in. He'll do his confidence a world of good. I think once you're a new player coming into the team, and he's gone now. Once you're a new player coming into the team, I think if you can get an early goal, which he has done, I think that really settling down. I think he'll really be able to get a few more. Well, I think he'll really be able to get into double figures, but he'll be able to get a few more in the next few games. And then obviously Casemiro getting a few goals, which obviously is good to see. But yeah, I think the most frustrating part about this as well, just one final point before we move on. Again, all 4 goals they scored, there wasn't anything special. They were all avoidable. Now, you can talk about the penalty. For me, like I say, it wasn't a penalty. So when Harry Kane steps up, you expect him to score anyway, to be fair. But the other 3 goals, very, very poor. It's just not good enough. So, yeah. And if you think about it, if you look at it this way as well, we had momentum before they scored their first goal. We looked very good. But that moment, again, I think it was too easy for Sane to get a shot off. I know Onana made the mistake, absolutely. But why was Sane allowed to just go through like that, so easy like that, and no one closing him down, no determination to get in front of the ball? So, yeah, very poor, very gutted. I was gutted, actually. But it's the same old feeling, just very upset and annoyed. But we move, that game's gone.
Thank God. But yeah, like you said about the goals, it's nothing special. Bayern didn't have to break a sweat for 4 goals. Let's be honest. I mean, we had to work hard for our 3 goals, but Bayern, easy. You know what I mean? I told you about Sané though, and unfortunately, I was proved right. Unfortunately. But yeah, listen, that's behind us, and hopefully tomorrow's the start to the season. John, I'm trying to say, hopefully that's the springboard to get us back, because we only have 6 points on the board, don't we? Our 5 games in the Prem.
Yeah, jeez. Like I was saying on the stream yesterday that I was on, I said this is the worst possible start to a season you could have imagined, really. I know we've had injuries, we've spoken about it, we've had a lot of injuries, but for me, this team should be doing a hell of a lot better than what they've started the season. But yeah, 6 points from 5 games, it's not good. And if you look at the points we've got, we were very lucky against Wolves to get the win as well. So we could have been on 3 points had we lost that game. But yeah, we can't change what's happened. We have to focus. We have to focus on the games coming up, and we have to go on a winning run now and get some points on the board.
Yeah. We have Burnley tomorrow, Crystal Palace on Tuesday in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
Then Palace next Saturday. It's next Saturday in the Prem at Old Trafford. And I think we're back in the Champions League action.
Yeah.
Is it Galatasaray?
It's Galatasaray. Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, and then I'm not sure who we have the weekend after next.
I think it's Brentford.
Is it Brentford? Yeah, Brentford. I mean, Brentford are a bit of, a bit of a weird team. Brentford, in my opinion. You don't know what you're gonna get from them. I think did we beat them at Old Trafford last season?
I'm pretty sure we did.
It was 1-0, yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those games. But listen, we have tomorrow's game against Burnley, bloody Burnley, at Turf Moor. They only picked up 1 point out of their last 5 Premier League. Well, I think they played a less game than us because they had a game postponed or something like that.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, so I think they're 19th in the league. Luton are 20th with 0 points. I mean, I don't know. I know we're Burnley, they're not really flying on all cylinders as we expected them to, but with Manchester United, they can make this game hard for themselves. Let's be honest, right? But the question I want to ask you, I know your prediction, but besides that, are you confident for the game tomorrow?
I actually do. I actually feel quietly confident again, to be honest with you. I think that, if you look at Burnley, like I said, they had a terrible start, and obviously they've only just come back up. But and if you look at their, they've only picked up 1 point, and that was only on Monday against. We managed to do it, pick up a point against Forest away. But their home games, they've been conceding so many goals. I mean, let's have a look here. They've conceded 11 goals in the three games, and I just think that's very poor. They look very open. I think there'll be plenty of chances for us, and also their number 1 striker, Lyle Foster, will be missing from this game because he got a red card against Forest. So this is a good thing for us, but we have to focus on ourselves, and I believe that we have we have enough quality. Of course we do, to win this game, and also with the players that we've got coming back. Obviously, Varane's rumoured to be back. I think Amrabat will probably be fit. I mean, it's 50-50 with him at the moment, but I do believe he probably will be.
I think if he's, I think he'll make the bench if he's some sort of fit. But listen, I hope he starts. Ryan, to be brutally honest, I'd love him to start because we need him, as the last few games have told.
Yeah, we do. We're in a moment now where, yes, I understand. I mean, it just depends because this was only a minor injury from Amrabat, so it's not like he needs to be. Well, he does kind of need to be careful, but obviously it was a back injury, so them can happen sometimes. So I don't really think if he's available, he should start for me. But yeah, obviously it was getting players, but we have too much for Burnley. I'm sorry, but I'm not. I don't like ever. I'm not doing ever disrespect an opponent because you always have to do your job, and we haven't done our job. I mean, you don't have to look at the Wolves game and see, in the last few weeks that we make things hard for ourselves. And obviously, it is a way, but even if it is a way, I still fancy to get a result. Like I said, their defence is far too open, Burnley. So we will have plenty of chances. I do believe we'll take a few of those. I don't really see where they're going to get any joy in this game. If I'm honest, if you look at their squad, I don't.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to sound disrespectful. I don't. But I don't really see what they can do to trouble us. I mean, they have got a few good players, but we have better quality in them, and quality should tell tomorrow night.
Yeah, I just don't know where we can keep a clean sheet. I don't know, because look at our defence. But, listen, I think Oman has only kept one clean sheet since he's arrived, and that was Wolves, which, when you think back, if they had just at least one proper, decent striker, they would have beat us. I mean, let's be brutally honest.
No,
I mean, I don't think he played well in any games this season. He played well for 20 minutes when he fought after that. Do you know what I mean? But yeah,
I was just gonna say, obviously the timing of the game as well. It's obviously Saturday night. Do you think that? I don't really think that plays a part in the result, does it? Really? I mean, obviously it's a late Saturday night game. It's a bit of a strange kickoff time, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it is because if you look at next week, we're playing on a Tuesday and a Saturday, and that's why I think that we are playing the Tuesday game, because Saturday, but obviously, we can't play on a Sunday because we're playing on a Tuesday against Palace. But no, I don't think it plays a part, to be honest. I mean, did we really have to break a sweat ourselves on a Wednesday? Like, we didn't. The 3 goals we got were sloppy. But I don't think it plays a part. But Burnley, obviously, I'll have the extra 2 days rest than us, which I feel like a bit of rotation will be probably need. Ericsson, perhaps, maybe say McTominay, but then I don't want this. So did we take off Ericsson? We didn't take Ericsson. No, yeah, we did take Ericsson off, didn't we?
We did. We did take him off, and I was glad for that as well. Absolutely woeful.
Yeah. He's not as good as he was last season, was he? I mean, after that injury, just hasn't been the same.
No, he hasn't. For me, it seems to me like Ericsson gets tired so easily. I don't know, or is he just slow? I don't know. But either way, he can't be starting this game because, I suppose. Again, the quality of opposition we're going to be up against, I'm not taking anything for granted here, in the next few games, obviously Crystal Palace coming up as well, we should be able to be more dominant on the ball and have most of the chances, and we're just gonna. I feel like we're gonna be more in control of these games coming up. But like I said, we never do it the easy way, though, do we? We've done it the hard way when we've got results this season so far. So you just never know, do you? You just never know. We have to start well, but we also have to continue to play. It's no good just starting well, is it? We've got to be consistent. If you lapse away for 1 second, you're going to get punished. I mean, maybe Burnley. Like I said, Burnley are a good side. I do like them, but I don't really see how they're going to stay up this season. I think it'll be a long season for them. But I think I predicted them to go down. So, it's one of those. They'll give it a good go, but they just not. I just don't see where they're going to get any joy in this game. Like I said, I'm probably repeating myself now, but we'll just have to see.
I mean, they beat us 3-0 in a behind closed doors game. It wasn't a full team, but they beat us at Old Trafford. But I don't take much, interest in behind closed doors.
Nah, our squad wasn't there. We were playing half the kids. So
yeah, it was basically, do you remember the team that played at the Aviva against that team. Should be so strong enough to be Burnley, but sure, look, what can we do? But obviously tomorrow we will have a watch along. Live game starts at 8, so we'll have a watch along at 7:30. So join us for that. It's a Saturday night, so hopefully it can be. Saturday night's meant to be fun, aren't they, Ron? So hopefully we can have a fun night. Have a nice beverage, not an alcoholic beverage because I don't drink. But besides that, we'll do that. But the question is, can Burnley shock Manchester United? Can and all on. I know you said that they don't know where the trouble can come from, but besides, like, they're seriously like, can they shock us?
Like I said, I can't see it. No, and I think it's a case of we have to focus on us ourselves, and we have to simply get a win because there is no excuses really. I mean, we have to start winning and fast. And I think this game is a nice, kind of a nice-ish game to get back to after the bang game, even though it is away. But even then, I don't really think it matters if Burnley have proven it doesn't matter if they're at home because they've lost all their games at home. So, and I know obviously Tottenham have started the season well, but that was the last home game, I believe. They were so open.
You look at the Burnley, you can see the 3 against City, 5 against Spurs, and I'm sure you can see I think it was 3 to Aston Villa. I could be wrong.
Oh yeah, Aston Villa was the last home game, wasn't it? Yeah, it was 3-1. Yeah, it was 3-1.
Yeah, so I mean, you look at that. That's 11 goals conceded.
Oh no, it wasn't. It was the Tottenham game. The Tottenham game was the last home game. Sorry, but anyway, yeah.
So I think they conceded 11. No,
11 goals. 11 goals in 3 home games.
That's yeah. So I mean, it's not. I know our defense isn't great in all fairness, but as a Burnley side, you'd expect it.
Yeah, like I said, with Varane coming back though, we hope to have that solidity at the back. Obviously, I know Varane. We have to be careful with Varane because we don't want him to. But obviously, he didn't play on Wednesday. It was too soon, but I think he should be ready now. So getting Varane back in now will really help our defence for sure.
Yeah, big up Tom in the chat, who's another member of the channel. Listening to this at the gym, getting in the gains. But yeah, I mean, I don't think they can. It's a question, but I don't think they can. I don't think they will. They might score, but besides that, if they're going to score, I can see corner. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, in all honesty, Burnley. Listen, Vincent Kompany, ex-Manchester City player, captain, he would love to beat Manchester United, and that'd just get Burnley flying. But I'm gonna ask you.
Well, it can work both ways, can't it? Really, because surely those players, Man United players, going into that will be thinking you want to get one over Burnley because obviously Vincent Kompany, Man City connection. We want to do that as well, so. I suppose it works both ways, that really, to be honest. But
yeah, I don't like Vincent Kompany, as you'd expect. It was decent with Burnley last season, but I feel like with these managers that they go to the Championship, then I got too carried away. I expected Burnley to be very stay up this season, very safe. They still can, but so far not good.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I will say is that if you look at how Burnley played last season in the Championship, they've not really adapted in the Premier League. They've kept this playing the same way. Now, I suppose you could say that some teams actually do that and it works, and that's fine. But with Burnley, they're obviously their emphasis is playing out from the back. For me, if we can press them really high, they make mistakes. So if we can really press high, then I believe we will have some joy. But again, we have to press, and most of the time, this team doesn't want to press for some reason, but we have to do it in this game because, like I said, they'll play out from the back, and they will make mistakes. They will make mistakes if we can press, because they just can't. They're trying to play a style of football. Yes, okay, in the Championship, the Championship is a fantastic league, but if you look at the Premier League, it's another level. Yeah. So to do that with the players that they've got when they can't really do it, it's asking for trouble. And I think that's what we've seen in the open games for them, really, especially at home. They've really most of their goals have been from mistakes or from they've given the ball away from playing out from the back. So that persistence to do that is just going to continue to keep keep troubling them. So yeah, so we have to be on it. We have to press. I don't want to see anybody. It really angers me when I see players walking around the pitch, and we just can't. We need to really start pressing teams and not giving them much space. But yeah, that's my thoughts really on Burnley.
I mean, Vincent Company, again, is it one of them if we lose the pressures on Ten Hag or if they lose the pressures on Vincent Company? Like, is it that kind of way, or personally, I don't think we should sack Ten Hag. Just throw it out there. I don't think we should get this. Yeah, performances aren't great. Results obviously aren't brilliant either. We've only won 2 games so far this season. We've lost against every single big team, even Brighton. If you want to classify them as a big team. So yeah, I mean, listen, Vincent Company, Brighton, Burnley, the play styles are all over the place. Like Burnley, it's like Vincent Company's trying to just be like, right, what Pep does with City, we'll take a bit of that, throw into my team. Can't do the tiki-taka stylish football. You haven't got, I think it's Lord Foster. He's, like you said, he's suspended. So I think he was the top scorer or something like that so far in the Premier League. So having him out might be a bit of a doubter. They have no Wakehorst. So yeah.
I love how you put Wakehorst in there.
Yeah, I know. He still wouldn't score against us, let's be fair.
Oh god, don't mention it. No. But yeah, Lyle Foster obviously would be a big miss. But yeah, I mean, for me, I think the ultimate aim for Burnley is to stay in the division. So I don't really think the Company is under pressure. For Ten Hag, I feel like the pressure's mounting on Ten Hag. I really do, and we really do need to get him. I'm not saying because I think we should stick with him. I absolutely believe we should stick with him. But pressure is bound to mount if the longer this goes on. So we have to get a result tomorrow night, and hopefully that'll alleviate that pressure. But there is pressure. There always is pressure at Manchester United, though, to be fair. So I suppose that's nothing new. But I just feel like, we need to get a result sooner rather than later. But, yeah.
Would a draw even put pressure on Ten Hag in your opinion?
I would say personally, I would say so, because I just think, again, I go back to it. This is a type of game that we should be winning. Now, it's not about on paper we should be winning, but that's not what it's about, is it? The Premier League is the Premier League. We have to do our jobs, but if we draw this game, I'll be extremely disappointed. In fact, I'll be very angry and disappointed again.
That would ruin my weekend altogether, Ron.
Yeah, so it will really. It's really no good. We have to get the 3 points, and we need to perform better than what we've shown in the past. The start of the season, you could say so, to be fair, because we have to do more. And we have, like I said, we have to really look. I hope the players have really looked at themselves in the mirror lately, because I just think these players are just not. They're not giving their all for the shirt. They're not playing for the badge. I'm sorry, but overall, they're just not playing for the badge. And we need to see more passion, determination, and effort, really, because we can't be seeing what we've seen in the past. The opening start of the season, but yeah, win or bust.
Yeah. Obviously, if we win, I think the pressure just. I wouldn't say it's probably slightly there, but not a lot. But that's to the question. That's people who's watching answer as well. If we win or if we lose or draw, just the pressure on Ten Hag get even worse. But listen, like I say, if you're going to get rid of him, who are you going to bring in? What I mean? It's just a cycle we go through since Fergie left, and we haven't got any far. I think Ten Hag has probably done better than. Yeah, right. Mourinho didn't do too bad. Van Gaal, but look what Ten Hag's done. I mean, give him time.
Yeah, we don't want to do what other clubs do and sack managers when it's not going well. We have to stick with this manager, because I'm telling you.
Look at Arsenal.
Yeah, absolutely. But if we stick with this manager, I do believe that we will start to see, look at last season. I know last season doesn't matter now; it's irrelevant. But you look at last season, what he did in his first season, fantastic. I did expect us to be. I said it in the last stream. I expected us to really hit the ground running this season and start the season, or maybe I was hoping that we would. But I did kind of expect it because we had a bit of momentum going after obviously the brilliant end to the season that we had. So it hasn't happened, but there's multiple factors why it hasn't happened, and we have to focus on the games coming up and just trust Ten Hag that he will be able to turn this around. But yeah, like I say, he's still building. A project isn't overnight. I know he's only been here a season and a bit. A project doesn't happen overnight. You have to stick with managers. And like I say, who are we actually going to go and get? I don't want to see another manager at Man United at the moment. I want Ten Hag to stay, and I want him to keep. Well, we just need to build something again, and hopefully turn things around and have a very good season. But yeah, I think he's very reactive as well. By the way, to say Ten Hag out, very reactive. There's just no need for it. These fans that are saying this, they're just being very reactive. So yeah, that's just my view on the whole situation at the moment with Ten Hag.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we should get rid of him. But we'll go through Burnley's recent form. If it comes up on the screen, because hold on, I didn't even click onto it. Okay, so Burnley's last 5 is they lost 3-0 against Man City on the opening day. They lost. I don't know why I have Manchester United in there. I don't know why, but there we have it. That was meant to be Burnley. So Burnley beat them. Burnley beat Forest 1-0.
Burnley didn't beat Forest.
It was in the Carabao Cup.
Oh, right. Okay, my fault. I didn't know it. Right. Okay.
I didn't know that either until I was like, what? So yeah. Burnley lost 3-1 against Aston Villa at home. They beat Forest away. They lost 5-2 against Spurs, and they drew 1-1 against Forest on Monday. So it's not great at all. But if you're Burnley, are you happy with it?
No, you're certainly not. And the big concern, like I say, is the defensive frailty that they're showing, but also, the mistakes they're making as well. And that can, when you make mistakes and become a regular thing, it's hard to get out of that. So yeah, I don't think Burnley will be happy with 1 point from the last 5. I know they've had the opponents they've faced. Maybe they've had a kind of a tough start to the season, really, for honest. But you've got to be targeting home games, really. And maybe Aston Villa would have been a game they would have liked to have maybe done better in. I'm not taking obviously Aston Villa on the side, but maybe that game. But apart from that, so maybe they would have preferred a few more points on that total than they've got at the moment, but yeah.
We'll go to Manchester United's form also. Make sure I don't have Burnley in there. Our form isn't the greatest either, let's be brutally honest. Spurs beat us 2-0. Then we beat Nottingham Forest 3-2 just. So both these teams actually know how to beat Forest. Arsenal beat us 3-1. That's a fake scoreline. Just go and throw it in there. Brighton beat us 3-1. Not a fake scoreline. Bayern and Man United, fake scoreline, but we'll take it. 4-3. So looking at that, we have only won 1 game out of our last 5. Thoughts, Ryan?
Yeah, it's just painful.
But they are tough opponents, but still.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. We're Manchester United. We have to be doing better in these games. I don't take this the tough game. If you look at if you look at every single game, we made it far too easy for the opponents and gifted them goals. It's not hard to beat teams when it's not hard for them to beat a team where they're just gifting goals away, defending non-league players or whatever. I don't know what you want to say about it, but So it's painful to see these results. It really is. But again, very easy to dwell on these results. We have to focus. On the the upcoming games, and we can't afford to dwell on these. These games have gone, like I say, half of these are fake scorings anyway. Especially the Arsenal game, we can be feeling very hard done by. I've already mentioned that in previous streams. I've moved on, but I still can't believe the decisions in that game that happened against us. And yeah, like I said, we know the Brighton game was woeful, apart from the opening 15. And the Bayern game, I don't think we should take this result because I go back to it. We scored 3 goals, but we still didn't come away with anything. That's just not good enough. It's because we were so open at the back, and again, and I think that game was there for the taking because I don't think Bayern was that great, to be honest with you. I know that's silly saying that because they scored 4 goals, but like I said, the goals wasn't anything special. That one of those goals were a penalty, which shouldn't have been a penalty anyway. So yeah, very frustrating. But we have to just focus on the next game now. These games.
Yeah, that's it. But look, I was just when you were talking there, I was just looking at how many goals we conceded in our last 14. 3 more. I think it's 3 or 4 more than Burnley. At home, I'm sure they conceded a lot more than us. But that's just at home.
Yeah, no, that's shocking to know that. And I don't like to point to excuses either. We can look at the injuries. We can look at Varane's being out. Yes, he has been out, but it doesn't mean that defense can't be doing better than they've shown. I'm sorry, but you've got Martinez in there who seems to be really, really poor lately. You've got Lindelof who, for me, I do like Lindelof, but he's not really done well this season. I have liked the look of obviously Reguilon, who's also coming, but I do like him. And Dalot at times, he's a good player, but he's sometimes you can find himself out of position far too much for my liking, and also quite sloppy in possession too. Quite a few times actually. Remember in the Bayern game, he gave the ball away quite a number of times. I seem to remember. When he wasn't even had any pressure on him really. So, I don't like to point to excuses. So, this defense or the defense they've been playing, should be doing a lot better. And I think it kind of highlights how important or massive or whatever you want to say Varane is in that defense. Yeah. But again, you can't be over-reliant on one player. We know Varane's injury issues. We know he just struggled to keep fit. We have to, to concede that amount of goals is just unacceptable. It really is.
Yeah. Hopefully we have Amrabat back and Varane and Mount. But I want to ask you a question, right? If Mason Mount is back and he's fit to start, would you play him?
Yeah.
And where would you play him? Maybe on the right wing, because Chelsea played him there a few times and he didn't look too bad. Would you consider it?
I mean, for me, anybody that knows me knows that I'm not a massive fan of Mount, really. If I'm honest. And again,
same.
I still, to this day, cannot understand why we signed him. For the amount of money we signed him for as well, we could have got a hell of a lot of a better player, maybe even 2 players from that 60 million that we spent or whatever it was. It just doesn't make sense to me. And from what I've seen of him, and I know it's the early days, he just made the midfield even worse than what it was without. He just made the midfield worse than what it was without him. If that makes sense, I don't know if that makes sense. He made for me. He just disrupted the midfield. I don't see him as a right winger. I mean, obviously, I know he did that at Chelsea, but I suppose the question is, you pay that amount of money for him, so I think Ten Hag is probably going to bring him in at some point. But I don't really see where he goes back in because I don't see him in. I think Amrabat, when he's fit, or hopefully it's this week and he's fit, he'll go in the CDM. Mount's not a CDM really. On the right, I don't think Mount. I just don't really rate Mount, to be honest with you. I think he may. For me, he's a player that maybe he'd be an impact sub, maybe. But even then, if you look at the games he's played so far, he hasn't really impacted much at all. The only thing he does do well, which is what we've been lacking, is the press. I think he presses a lot. He's got a lot of energy, but he's got no end product. He's got no end products. He doesn't create. He can't score. I don't see what he offers really, apart from the press, and we have to see the end product ultimately. So I'm kind of waffled on here, but I don't really want to see him come back in ultimately, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I mean, if I always say it's just, I mean, okay, I wouldn't mind seeing him on the right wing for comfortably ahead, but not, I mean, all right, if Amrabat's not fit enough and that amount is, I would play him instead of Eriksen. That's just my opinion. But as it stands, I don't have him in my lineup at all because I don't know what the story is. But I was kind of like, now, again, I know I asked this every stream, and if you don't know many of that, I know Lloyd Foster would have been a player with both there, but any Burnley player you'd look out for, like, well, he's a danger man. Don't give him space.
I mean, they've just signed this summer a guy called Amdouna who just plays in behind the striker, very creative. Yeah. He's actually got a couple. He's actually joint top scorer for Burnley actually with 2 goals with obviously Foster as we've just mentioned. So he's got a few goals in him, but he also likes to create, find a pass. So I think he'll be quite a lively presence in there trying to make that. But hopefully, Burnley won't have much of the ball and we won't really have an opportunity. And plus, we just need to not give him the space like we have done many players this season so far. Because we do give him space. I wouldn't be surprised if he does score. Because of his stats. I know he's only, you could say 2 goals in 5 games isn't great, but he's still managed to get a couple of goals to his name early on of the season. I think he hasn't played in the Premier League before either. I don't think so. So it's not bad. But yeah, probably him. Obviously, the captain, Josh Brownhill, is a good player. I do like him in the midfield. Good in possession. Again, another player that likes to try and find a pass through the middle. But yeah, for me, probably Amdouna.
Yeah, I'd agree. He's got a brilliant goal against Nottingham Forest on Monday as well. I was watching it and I thought that was nice. I just like the way he tucked it into the bottom left. But I'd agree. Funny enough, I didn't even predict him to score. But I have it. Well, listen, let's get into score predictions. Predicted 11s is what I should say.
Yeah.
So, Ryan, let me just check. You could say you went big again. So, if you just talk us through your predicted 11.
Yeah, it's obviously, I'm really hopeful that Varane is obviously coming back in. Obviously, Anana definitely starts again for me. There's a lot of criticism of him lately, but I do believe he's got the character and the ability to bounce back from, you can tell he's a strong person. So I do think that he'll be able to bounce back, and I think he'll be chomping at the bit to get back out there in the order after that nightmare game on Wednesday. So yeah, obviously back 4, obviously Regulon, absolutely superb so far as I mentioned earlier. He is in there. Martinez, hopefully praying that Varane. Like I say, if Varane's available, then we have to start him for me. I know the massive risk factor of bringing him in too early and then getting injured, but we're in a position where we can't really afford to, wait because we need results ultimately, and I just think it's a risk worth taking. If Varane's ready, put him in there. He's had a few days training, or should I say this week he's trained quite a bit. So yeah, get him in there. Obviously, Dalot obviously has to start. I mean, again, we don't really have many options in that defence, really, if I'm honest. We don't have a depth. But yeah, obviously in midfield, I'm absolutely praying, hoping that Amrabat is available, and if he is able to make the bench, then he has to start for me. I think if it was a more of a serious injury that he picked up prior, I would have maybe thought, I maybe keep him out for this game, maybe implement him into the coming games that we've got coming up. But it was only a minor injury, so for me, if he's available and he's fit and he's trained well, he has to start. And then obviously Casemiro, of course, in there with him. I'm really excited, hopefully, to see that partnership tomorrow night, and I think they'll complement each other very well, actually. So I'm really excited to see that. And then obviously, again, I've dropped Rashford. I just think Garnacho. Everyone knows how much I love Garnacho. I just think Garnacho. I just want to see him start, and I think Rashford could potentially, make an impact from the bench this game. So yeah, Garnacho for me on the left, with Bruno obviously in the centre there, and again I think Pellistri obviously made his debut. We didn't mention that obviously in the when we were speaking about Bangor. I was delighted to see him in the.
What did you think of him against Bayern?
I think ultimately he did all right, but he didn't obviously do much either. So, but again, he was up against some very strong. If you look at the players he was up against, I don't want to make excuses, but very strong. A lot bigger than him as well. So it was quite a mismatch really in a way. But he did his best. He tried. Yeah. He did do He did do some nice moments, and so yeah, I didn't mind him. So that's why I kind of think that he should be starting this game again. I'd like to see him get 2 consecutive starts, see what he can do in this game. I think he'll be able to do more in this game than what he was able to do against Bayern. So I think, I think that he's warranted another start for me in this one. And we haven't seen him, starting 2 games consistently. So it'd be nice to actually see how he gets on as well. I do believe he'll be doing well, and I think he may get an assist as well. But I do like Pellistri. I've always liked him. I'm just glad he's got his opportunity now, and hopefully Ten Hag has been happy with what he saw on Wednesday, because I don't think he played bad. Like I say, I think he did all right for to say his debut as well. At the Allianz Arena, it's not easy to come in your debut, first start, and make your Champions League debut and on the biggest stage. And yeah, anyway, I was talking about Pellistri. I'm really hopeful. And then Højlund as well, leading the line of calls. Højlund, he'll be full of confidence after Wednesday, and I really do fancy him to get a couple of goals in this game. I really do.
Yeah, it's like John will just like Martial, fanboy clubs, and I think Ryan should come up with a Pellistri club. That's just my initial opinion. I'll join it with you. Don't worry, I'll join it with you. I really like him. So Pellistri, is it the Pellistri bandwagon or something like that? Whatever it is.
Yeah, I actually, I'm actually a bigger fan of Garnacho. He's my favourite player for United. But yeah, Pellistri, I am a big admirer of Pellistri, and I just believe that he's just a player that excites me, really. Honest. He gets you off your seat. He gives it a go. He gives it a go. And same with Garnacho. Garnacho's a player that can make something happen. And I thought he did well, by the way, Garnacho, when he came on against Bayern. I thought he caused a few problems, and the Bayern defenders struggled to cope because they were fouling him left, right, and centre as well. So he made a good impact. So that's another reason why I thought, Garnacho, I'd love to see. I think he should be starting this game, but he probably will go with Rashford. But for me, Rashford just isn't doing anywhere near enough at the moment.
That team should be enough to be Burnley, though, in my opinion.
It
should be strong enough. What's the only change you're making? You're taking out Eriksen, putting in Amrabat. taking out Lindelof, putting in Varane, taking out. All right, maybe some would say taking out Rashford, putting in Garnacho was a big call, but regardless, besides that, the changes are solid. In my opinion, and we need a bit of depth. And I'm literally looking at the fullbacks here, saying, like, how can we rotate them two for the game on Tuesday? Like, honestly, how can you do it?
We can't. That's we just can't. Yeah. We can't, and that's the problem. And then
like, do we have any other left back or right back that's fit?
I honestly don't think we do.
No, so
no, we don't. That's just madness, isn't it?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But here is my predicted 11. If it comes up on the screen, I just don't seem to be having a look at my predicted 11s today. Here we have it. So I have went with Onana in goal, Reguilon left back alongside Martinez, Varane, and Dallo. I went with Eriksen in midfield, and I was saying, blah, yada, yada, that his pace and his fitness, not his fitness, but he's just not sharp enough. But I feel if Amrabat or Mount available, either play one of them. I prefer Amrabat over Mount, but if Mount's fit over Amrabat, play Mount. Alongside Casemiro, hopefully he has a bit of confidence after scoring 2 goals on Wednesday. I went Garnacho on the left. I mean, I'm a big fan of him, like every other Manchester United fan is.
Yeah.
Rashford on the right. I know some say a bit controversial, but we've seen him. He played on the right wing against Bayern on Wednesday, so it can be done. And then Bruno and Cam, and then Rasmus Højlund up top. I mean, you can't go wrong with either team, Ryan, in my opinion.
No, like I said, this lineup's more than justifiable too. I think I get it. I just think that we can't just keep starting Rashford if he's not producing, really. I just think he's been very poor. But yeah, we're pretty much on the same page, apart from that one thing. Yeah, you've taken Pellistri. Don't you think that Pellistri deserves? How did you think that Pellistri got on in this game? And also, don't you think he should be starting this game?
Pellistri, in my opinion, Pellistri done what was asked of him. But I feel like with Garnacho, there's more of a threat. I like Pellistri, don't get me wrong. I really like him. I'm glad we didn't let him go anywhere in the summer. But I just feel like if you want to win convincingly, you have to, listen, I was shouting for Rashford to come off, but I mean, let's be honest, regardless of who starts up top, it should be enough to beat Burnley. I mean, you can start Martial's little cameo off the bench against Bayern wasn't too bad, to be fair.
He looked very good, didn't he?
Yeah.
That was the best I've seen him play for quite a while, so fair play to him. So he surprised me, actually. I was like, is this the same player that we've been seeing, recently? But yeah.
The thing is with Martial, you can all turn around and say, if he starts, I wouldn't complain, but then he starts and has a bad game. He's hot and cold, in my opinion. But no, I like Pellistri, but if you said, right, who would you pick to start, Garnacho or Pellistri? It has to be, Garnacho. But that's probably a bit unfair because Pellistri's a right winger, Garnacho's a left winger. But yeah, that'd be. But listen, more than likely, it'd be Rashford, Pellistri, and Højlund. Regardless, That's my preferred 11. Not me predicted. That's who I'd put out.
Yeah.
But right, score predictions. Ryan, I think every preview you've been on since has been confident. And I beg. This is not like one of those things where it's a jinx. But let's get stuck into it.
I always jinx it, and that's what I'm always conscious of. But I just go with what I believe, and I just think, my scoring, obviously. Yeah, obviously, I believe this game will be a game where we can really make a huge impact in, and we will get a lot of joy in. Like I said, the defence, I know our defence is just bad, but I just think Burnley will be on the back foot, and we will have chances, a lot of chances. And I just think that, obviously with, obviously Højlund getting his first goal, I think he can get 2 goals in this game. I really do. I think he can double his tally in this game, and I think getting that will really help his confidence even more as well. But I just think Højlund just looks a threat every time he has the ball, really, if I'm honest. But So yeah, for me, Haaland is going to have a brilliant game again, and I just fancy Garnacho to come up with a goal. I think he's like I say, he's got that thing about him where he can just produce something out of nothing. You know, I just think Garnacho will get a goal. And yeah, as I go back to it, I don't really see how Burnley are gonna trouble us really, and I don't really see who's gonna start. And like I said, they're missing their star striker because obviously Jay Rodriguez will probably come in now. And for me, I don't really see him I don't think he's that good, to be honest with you. So
I pray. That's a convincing win. That'll fill me with confidence. I know it's Burnley, but I need it.
But it's just a case of we have to be professional. We have to go into this game.
Yep.
We have to do the job. We have to come away with 3 points and then start building again and forget what's happening. We have to just focus on this game and then forget about what's happened in the past. So, yeah, Haaland's going to get a couple and Garnacho, and I'm going to be very happy with that because I love Haaland and I love Garnacho. I love all the players, but I love these two especially.
Yeah. Bro, I mean, there's only like Garnacho's 18, Haaland 20. They'll be at Manchester United for a very, very long time, hopefully for the rest of their career. I mean, that's what I hope. But yeah, my score prediction is positive, by the way, from you, Ryan, as always. I hope you're right. I hope, and you both, clean sheet, 3 goals, 3 points on a Saturday night. But I find it a bit different. Some could say a bit negative. 2-1 United. Haaland to score. I think me and you predicted Haaland to score in the last 3 games or something. But how can't you not when you look at him so far? Brownhill to score for Burnley. I can just see him scoring. I don't know, something like the goal he scored on Monday. I don't know why. Or from a corner. A cheap goal is what I'll say. A cheap goal. And then Haaland and Rashford. That's that.
Good shout, to be fair. Like, obviously, I think Brownhill takes free kicks for them, doesn't he? He's got quite a good strike in him from those free kicks, I seem to remember. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I can see him scoring like a goal like he did. Do you see the goal he scored on Monday?
To be fair, I haven't seen anything of Burnley. No, I didn't watch the game. No.
I could just see them scoring a goal like that. It'd be against the run of play, those kind of silly goals. But yeah, confidence as always from me and yourself, Ryan. That has been the preview. Thanks for coming on as always, Ryan. Hope you enjoy the game tomorrow night.
Yeah, no, hope you enjoy it too. And yeah, thank you for having me on. And hopefully we can have a happier weekend with 3 points. And yeah, we just have to wait and see. But yeah, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. Really enjoyed it as always. But yeah.
And like I say at the end of every other show, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on my Instagram, obviously, United Central. Like I said, there's a dot in between the I and the T. I was going to put United Central as one name, but it wasn't available. The username wasn't available, so I had to put a dot in between the I and the T. But yeah, obviously, go and find me on there. Try and be active as possible now to do my content as well on there. Yeah, I'm happy with how it's going, but yeah, I haven't got a channel of my own just yet, but I'm just happy doing what I'm doing at the moment, to be honest with you, and seeing where that takes me. And obviously, happy to come on here and speak as well, and I'm really enjoying it. I really appreciate the welcome into the streams, and yeah, I just feel happy to be able to do this, really. I think it's great. But also on Twitter, if you're on Twitter, you can also find me there. United Central 18. Again, we didn't have United Central as a name, so I had to put another name. But yeah. But yeah, that's it. That's where you can find me. Hopefully keep getting a few more followers, keep growing. But yeah, like I said, big up for having me. Been a pleasure, and fingers crossed. Hopefully, I haven't jinxed the score this weekend, as I have done since I've started coming on here. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, well said. And yeah, everyone go follow and all that good stuff. I follow it as well, so brilliant channel. Like I said, though, there will be a watch along live on this YouTube at 7:30. There'll be a link on our Instagram and Twitter. So join me at 7:30. Go through team news and all that good stuff. But yeah, Ryan, like I said, thanks for coming on. Enjoy the football. And yeah, speak to you all in the next one. Come on, United.
Yeah. Come on, United, yeah.